Hey folks, welcome back to Selenium WebDriver series. In this video, let's talk about what is this JavaScript executor, why do we need it, and how do we use it. Before we begin, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Let's begin. So to understand what is this JavaScript executor in Selenium, basically it is an interface, okay, which Selenium implements. It is an interface, okay, whatever methods are present in the JavaScript executor. So that method, so that method will be implemented by the Selenium remote WebDriver. In the next video, we will talk about it detailed. Okay. So that is what is JavaScript executor. It is an interface that allows the JavaScript code to be executed directly with the browser. So with the help of the JavaScript executor, you can interact with the browser directly, basically. So it will enable the automation testers to perform the complex actions. Okay, such as suppose you are writing a code in Selenium. Suppose there is a checkbox or there is a input box that you want to interact with. But with Selenium, it is not working. Okay, the click or the send keys method is not working. At that time, what you can do is you can, rather than using the click method or send keys method, you can directly go and then, um, directly you can interact with the browser without the help of the Selenium code. Using the JavaScript executor, you can interact with a particular element. Okay, so that is why this JavaScript executor comes into picture. Before that, if you want to understand like what actually happens, okay, so here is what it happens. Okay, when you write a Selenium script, suppose say you want to perform a click or send keys action, any of the action on to the browser. At that time, behind the scene, JavaScript is the scripting language that helps to interact with the browser. Okay, even though you have written the code in Java or whatever language it might be, to interact with the browser, JavaScript is a scripting language that is used. Okay, so this command allows the testers to interact with the web elements, handle certain actions like scrolling, or you can directly manipulate the document object model, DOM, okay, effectively. So that is the reason JavaScript executor can be used. You can bypass using the Selenium method, and then rather than that, you can directly execute your script in the browser. For that purpose, we will use. So to understand how it works, first place, it can interact with the web pages beyond the locator strategy. So with Selenium, there is a restrictions, right? You can interact with using the element, is basically the locators. But beyond the limitations, we are using this JavaScript executor, which we have actually used that methods from the JavaScript executor and then implemented those methods in our Selenium, correct? So it allows the JavaScript command to directly manipulate using this DOM, document object model, correct? And then like triggering the event and then the retrieving the browser information. And there are many of the use cases that we can use this JavaScript executor for. And first, we will understand what is this JavaScript. We may know that JavaScript is another programming language, but it is a scripting language that is used to interact with the HTML or the DOM within the browser. Basically, it is a scripting language where front-end developers are using. You might have heard of, okay, but to interact with the HTML and then the DOM elements, JavaScript is what is being used. And coming to the JavaScript executor, it is an interface that provides the uh, way to interact with the browser directly using the JavaScript. Okay, so we got to know what is this JavaScript executor and when do we use it. What happens if, suppose, say you are trying to interact with the element using Selenium, but it is not able to interact? At that time, you will see some exception called element not interactable exception. Okay. Then you can decide that the element is not able to interact. That time you can prefer using this JavaScript executor. Okay. And the JavaScript executor provides two methods. Okay. One is execute async script and normal. Another one is execute script. Okay. So this is right now while we look into an example, you will get to know. Okay. And then there are certain use cases. So say here are the common use cases where this comes into picture, like clicking on the elements that are not interactable using the Selenium WebDriver. And next is entering the text into the text box using send key. Suppose say send keys is not working. So at that time you can use this JavaScript executor. Scrolling within the web page dynamically. So then also you can use this JavaScript executor, handling alerts and pop-ups, retrieving page details such as title, URL, and the loaded elements. For all the purpose of this, we can use this document dot where we can manipulate directly, right? So document dot you can give what you want to interact with, okay, and then you can see. So using the JavaScript executor, we can also perform, say, refreshing the browser window. This you can perform, or you can get the inner text of the web page, okay, to get the domain of the web page and to get the URL of the web page, right? And to scroll or the application, you can use it. So these are the multiple ways or the use cases that you can utilize this JavaScript executor. Okay. So let's see it using an example. So here is an application that I'm using. Say I want to send some keys into this text box. Okay. In normal Selenium, say it's not working. So how we can do it is, first let's inspect this element. So drag this. Let's inspect this. So here we have ID, right? So copy this ID and let's go to the uh, Eclipse and then create a new class. Let's say JS executor. Select this and then finish. So first let's copy couple of lines from here. Let's say WebDriver is equal to new Chrome driver and import this. And now we want to interact with the send keys. Rather than using the send keys, we want to interact using the JavaScript executor, correct? So for that, usually how you used to do is you used to locate the element and then you used to write the code, right? But now first what we have to do is say JavaScript executor JS is equal to JavaScript executor of driver. So this is the syntax. Okay, and then import this JavaScript executor. So looks like there is some. So uh, so there was some error. So you have to just import this JavaScript executor. Okay, and now using this JS dot. Okay, so there are methods. As I said, after you type in JS, you have two methods. One is execute async script and another one is execute script. Okay. So I'll select this and then here we have to pass document dot document dot get element by. ID. So we have to pass in the, yes, copy this element. Okay, put it, close this dot value. So here we have to pass what value we want to send. Okay, let's say we want to send a value, say software testing. Okay, that case you can use this. Okay, so it is very simple. Make sure you are creating the JavaScript executor JS. So we are not creating the object, we are just passing the driver here. And one another thing to notice is why I intentionally changed it to WebDriver is now you're typecasting, right? But suppose you don't want to typecast this, okay? At that time, what you can do is you can create the object of this Chrome driver. In that case, you do not have to use this typecasting. Otherwise, see, it will throw an error now. So now it works fine, right? Suppose if I go ahead and then let's control Z, and then if I use WebDriver here, okay, and then if I remove this, so this will throw an error now, okay, because it won't be able to. In the next video, we will understand it detail. So that time it is needed to add this as a typecast. Now let's run this. Instead of using the send keys method, we are using the get element by ID and then passing that ID dot what is the value that we want to pass into the search box. Okay, let's run this. See, it entered the, instead of using send keys, we use this JavaScript executor which directly went and then entered the value. Correct? Okay. So now what we are going to do is we'll also try to perform the click action. For that, we will utilize this. For that, let's use this. Let's say I want to select the Sunday. Okay. So Sunday itself is the ID. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, let's go back. Let's create this web element Sunday. Okay. Is equal to Sunday checkbox. Let's say Sunday checkbox is equal to driver dot find element, okay, and then phi dot id. So let's pass this id. Okay. So let's store this here, and then now what we need to do is let's put it in double quotes. It's a string. Yeah. Okay. Now what we have to do is js dot, let's import this, execute script. So we have to use this execute script method. Okay. In here, we have to pass one statement, that is arguments of 0. So dot what action we need to perform, that is the click, correct? And then we have to pass the locator to which we need to perform this click. This one, right? Yes. So let's run this now. So usually how we used to click directly, we used to perform the click directly using the Selenium. Now we instead of using the normal click method, say there is some issue, that time you cannot perform. So now you can see that rather than using that click method, we use the JavaScript executor method so that it is able to perform the click normally like how we used to do it. right? So this is how we can perform the actions using the JavaScript executor method. So this is all for this video. In the next video, we will talk about it in detail. If you have liked this video, please do like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.